I already got some of the, you know what I'm saying, some of the summer fits ready to go. All right. The first time we see young Kanan is when he's pulling up on grandmother. Now, grandmother is holding on by a thread. We know that that cancer then crawled up into them kidneys. Both of the kidneys are gone. You can live with one kidney, but now it's spread into her lungs, which is very, very bad. Like, all jokes aside, cancer is nothing to play with. My mother is a breast cancer survivor. My aunt is a breast cancer survivor. My other aunt passed from breast cancer. My sister had breast cancer. She passed. It wasn't from breast cancer, but she did pass from a cancer. So cancer isn't like anything I joke around or, you know what I'm saying, play around with. Um, I used to go always with my mom. So like cancer has always been around in my family. Um, so I used to always do the damn, what's it called? The walk for breast cancer. I used to always do that. My mom would always run and participate. So cancer's always been, you know what I'm saying, something that I never joked about that. When I got in my car wreck, when I was getting airlifted out in the helicopter, my mama said that while I was there, I asked her, did I have cancer? Because the only reason I knew someone to be in the hospital was from cancer, because my mother had cancer, my aunt had cancer, both of my aunts had cancer, and then my sister ended up having it later on. So I asked my mom, did I have cancer? Is that why I was in the hospital? But I was hit by a car. So grandmother, she's here, and she's going through it. She got her medicine, and we seen her medicine in the first episode or the second episode when Kanan went to go, talk to her. When Kanan gets here, Kanan's like, damn, I got your medicines, everything all right? She's basically telling Kanan, look, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you, Kanan. It's looking bad. The doctor said I'm on terminal. Now, one way you could look at terminal, and this is how I looked at it as a youngin'. Um, terminal is pretty much saying that it's the countdown. You know, whatever time they give you, I always looked at it as like an airport terminal. When you go to the airport, you go to that terminal because you got a set time that you're about to go. You know what I mean? You're not gonna be there forever. You got a terminal, you gotta go. So that's how I always looked at it. That's how when I was younger, I envisioned whenever I heard terminal. So grandmother is basically telling Kanan, you need to put whatever you got behind you and your mother behind you, because that's still your mother. And even at the end of the episode, we hear Kanan, older Kanan, say, you may not ever become someone's parent, but you'll always be someone's child. So basically, grandma is telling Kanan the same thing that she has to tell herself. Whatever you have, your problems, your discrepancies you got with your mother, you need to put that behind you. Now, that's my daughter, so you need to respect her. And that's your mother, so you definitely need to respect her. So grandmother is actually instilling a little bit of game into Kanan. And you just remember last week, Kanan didn't want anything to do with grandmother. He just had to do that damn homework. And grandmother was going to give him the information about Elijah, and he got the information from me, grandmother, Lou, and Marvin. So grandmother wants to put together this dinner. And instead of Kanan putting it together, grandmother's going to set up this last soul food, because I don't think we're going to have another family dinner. And grandmother's looking at her, look, look, look. You know when you fucking up when grandmother look at you like this. You gonna talk to your mother. You gonna respect her. She's my daughter. Me and her may not see eye to eye, but you gonna respect your mother. Grandma was on this nigga Kanan. Kanan didn't even know what the hell was happening. He been hit by a smooth criminal. See, my grandmother is always, so I didn't know my I didn't know my grandmother on my mom's side. She had passed. She also had breast cancer. I just knew on my mom, excuse me, on my mom's side, all I knew was my great grandmother. And that's whose house I bought. That was my first piece of property, my great grandmother's house. So I didn't know my grandmother on my mama's side. And then my grandmother on my dad's side, My dad was like 35 when he had me. So my grandmother on my dad's side was extremely, well, I won't say extremely, but she was older. She was in her 70s when I was a young one. You know what I'm saying? So I never really got to experience. I mean, I had a grandmother, but I was never around a grandmother like this. We would only go out there and visit her in the summertime. And then she did come and stay with us one summer where she almost blew up the house. We had a gas stove. My grandmother used to smoke cigarettes, but I thought she was boiling some water for, I think she made some tea or something. But you know, when you turn on the gas stove, you turn on the gas stove and so it's ticking to let you know that the gas is on. But once the shit ignites, you're supposed to turn it back so the gas won't be pumping out. It just be like burning. Well, my grandmother, I know this is a little off topic, but my grandmother, she did whatever she did on the stove, and me and my brother were back in the room, and my little brother Ant, he come back to the room like, "Hey, man, the stove is still ticking," and my grandmother was downstairs, so it was still pumping out gas like. She never turned it off because back at home, I think they got it. I think they had like just a regular stove. I think they got it. They upgraded and got electric. So she didn't turn off the gas stove. Me and my brother was just sitting in the house and that motherfucker Aunt came in there like, hey, Juice, the stove is still on. I was like, oh shit. So I had to run in there and turn off the stove, man. My grandma blew the house up. The motherfucking gas and the stove was on for like 25 minutes. Hey man, the whole house is smelling like gas. We had to open up the back door and the front door. Put a fan at the front so it'll blow through the back. We were kids too. Me and my brother knew to do that shit. We turned the AC on too. We had all the doors open, but you know, you don't turn the AC on with the doors open. But we turned it on because we thought that the cool air would help get rid of some of the goddamn gas. But that shit wouldn't have helped. And it actually blew up. But anyway, Kanan, he's at the house. Kanan's at the house, and Crystal has already ran into Unique. So she's telling Kanan, hey, Kanan, I'm thinking we should upgrade. Kanan got on them damn Tims. She's talking about Kanan, I'm scared. There's some unsavory characters. She even called OC a weirdo. How's she gonna call OC a weirdo when OC was about to fight Unique and when she was scared to talk to Unique? But she's like, man, OC, he's a weirdo. He stole all the condoms out the drawer. There's some weird guy with a beat up face, is very, very bruised. I just think we should leave. Kanan's like, man, we can't leave. I'm trying to eliminate expenses. I'm trying to keep expenses down. Plus, there's gonna always be scary niggas no matter where you live. You know what I mean? Even over here on my street, there's this one creepy guy. So I live next to the intersection. I'm the second house over from the intersection. Because in Germany, you don't have you can get a standalone house, but it's on my street. I live downtown. So my street, you turn, it's like it's a T cross. You turn down my street, I'm parked on the street. My garage is my front door, but there's a house before there's at the corner of my house, the corner of the house, and then my house. But there's a creep that lives across the T cross. You know, I see him in the morning times. I'm like, what the fuck is this dude doing out at 6:55 in the morning? The sun just be creeping. That nigga, he'll see me. I see him. He'll like go behind the corner. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude? But there's always gonna be weird people no matter what. If he ever come across that T cross, I'm whooping his ass. But he ain't never came across that T cross or said anything to me. So Kanan, he's telling her, look, it's always gonna be weirdos no matter where we at. She's talking about, man, let's get a new spot. If we get a new spot, who gonna pay for this? Who gonna pay for this new apartment? Kanan just like me, frugal. It's like, well, I don't need a new place. If you scared, go back with your mother. She said, I ain't going back to my mother, Kanan, because my mother's boyfriend got a dick hand. What the fuck is a dickhead? That's what Kanan is thinking. She said, he's not about to touch me. And Kanan said, well, if he touches you, then I'll go handle that situation. Now, I'm confused about what's going on here, but Kanan really doesn't want to spend any money. Kanan just found out last week that their product is short, and him and OC got to cut niggas off to make sure that all the new employees don't get the 15 an hour on the block. They get the 8.75. Now, one thing you gotta realize is Ladies, you don't understand this because you are the one doing the throwing. My fellas know what we're talking about. And I won't say it's like taking control of you, but if you got something nice and she's throwing that thing on you, it can kind of persuade your judgment. Now, me, I stand on all tens, but I'm still kind of, you know what I'm saying? I'm observant and you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, we can kind of compromise, but it's got to be an 80-20 my way. You know what I'm saying? Shorty swing my way. But Crystal's been throwing that thing on Kanan, and she's like, Kanan, at least come and look at these apartments with me. Now, Kanan definitely isn't trying to do this, but this is where he's at right now. She done threw that thing on Kanan a couple of times. You know what I mean? And we already know he be in there when it's slippery and wet. We already know about that because they done pulled a Raquel and got rid of that young thing. What up, Tamika? So she hop on Kanan, and she already know Kanan can't refuse the poontang. So she like, hey, Kanan, just at least come and look at apartments with me. Kanan need to sell the car. You what he say? What movie is this? You sell your car. What movie is this? You sell your car. Y'all know what movie I'm talking about. Kanan ain't selling that car. Tamika said she should have got her own place. She ain't got no money. Remember, dad ain't leave her a damn dime. Mama boyfriend got dick hands. I don't know what dick hands is. And next Friday, yeah, you sell your car. When they went over there to talk to Day, they're like, the house is foreclosed. Day, you should sell your car. Nigga, you sell your car. Kane ain't selling that car. See, y'all got some music. I mean, not music, but y'all got some movie knowledge. I like that. I fuck with that. All right, so next time we see Kanan is after Rock. I'm not Rock got that goddamn letter. But Kanan is chilling with Jukebox. And he's talking to her about going to college and what's next for her. Jukebox really ain't trying to do no college, man. Let's be honest. So he's talking to Juke. He like, man, Juke, what you really got going on, man? She's like, man, I'm going to college, man. I'm not doing that music shit no more. Now, when she starts asking about Famous, Juke is the level-headed one because Kanan, all he knows is the streets. It's unfortunate, no matter how smart you are, once you leave like school, you can have a lot of street smarts, but like your common knowledge, it kind of suffers. Now they're trying to get rid of the Department of Education in real life, which isn't going to happen. It's going to take Congress. We're going to need at least 60 votes, and they're not going to get that unless some of these weak ass Democrats decide to jump over, but they're not going to do it. So Kanan, he hasn't been in school, man. He's been absent. We know about the letter. He's iffy though, because he's getting all of his information from the streets, and they've been saying that Famous might be snitching. They're saying that Famous got picked up for the Freddy body. Famous might be talking to the police and telling the police what he knows, specifically about Kanan. Because Kanan, when you need to get out of jail, you can't snitch on no low life, no low level, no low bum. You can't say, oh, this guy got extreme parking tickets. No. You need to give us a dope dealer or another deleter. So Kanan's hearing that Famous may be talking, but Juke is saying, nah. Famous ain't doing that. Nah, that's one thing Famous ain't gonna do. Famous may self-snitch in a rap, but he ain't gonna do no talking to no police. And again, I ask you, do you guys believe that Famous is talking to the police about what him and Kanan got going on? I definitely don't agree. Now, I don't think Kanan got rid of him. Because remember when Famous got picked up, the only reason Famous got picked up was because of his mother. Remember? The mother found the gun and she called the police. So then they raided the house, and that's when they got Famous. And when Famous was in there, Famous was even denying the gun. He was like, what do you mean? I ain't do nothing. I don't know. I don't know nothing. I ain't do nothing. So Famous just hit the road. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more. Hit the road, Jack. And Don't you come back no more. What you say? So Juke is at least giving Kanan a heads up that she don't believe that Famous is telling, and also she done with music and she can dream when she dies. That's the thing. Kanan didn't even really have that much this episode. Now, this is one thing that made me laugh. I ain't gonna lie to you. So this is what made me laugh. They go and look at the apartments, right? They go and look at the first apartment. Kanan's looking like, man, this ain't better than where I'm staying at. I'm looking at this. I'm like, okay, the walls are clean. There's a ceiling fan. We got a little vent over here. Now the blind's a little off, but we're gonna rate these apartments. Is this apartment better than Famous's apartment? Yes or no? Is this apartment better than Famous apartment? Famous apartment got half wallpaper, half mold, no carpet, towel peeling up, ceiling got goddamn mold on it, no ceiling fan. It's better, but it's still not nice. This is definitely bigger and this is better. Look, the kitchen, well, it is a little rough around the edges over here. I didn't do a full investigation, a full walkthrough, but yeah, the cabinets can use some help. Yeah, but this is what it looked like in the 90s, though. You wasn't getting you a nice ass apartment in the 90s. You got wood grain, the wood panel wall over here. You got the dining room with the ceiling fan, but Kane is like, oh no, this ain't better than where I'm at. So they turned the first place down. They turned the first place down. Now it's time for the second crib. Time for the second crib. They come in here, wood floors now. Wood floor. You got a closet here. This is probably your first bathroom. Nice open floor plan. This is nice. Countertop. Okay. You got the cable wire right here running straight from the door from the hallway. Crystal's like, oh, this is nice, Kanan. Okay, we got the gas stove. Oh, we got us a little bar here. This is nice. Kanan's like, what's up? I like this spot. The guy sees that they're Negro. And he said, whoa, wait, wait, whoa, wait, whoa, 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 whoa. Time out, time out, time out. I did not know niggas was pulling up today. Well, I forgot to tell you guys that the contract, there's already been a deposit. I'm sorry to tell you guys that, but there's already been a deposit. This is the last apartment we have available. You niggas got to go. So Kanan, like any sane person, like, wait a minute, wait. We just scheduled this walkthrough tour this morning. So you just now forgetting and just coincidentally, you're like, okay, we are already leased this out, or is it because you seen that we was black? Now, in the modern era, this is a discrimination lawsuit right here. This right here, discrimination lawsuit. And what you want to do is you want to see how much the whole complex costs. And let's just say this is let's just say it's a $3 million complex. So what I want is $5 million. Take them to court, and then you work your way down. But at least you can get $1 million out of this. But you want your $1 million after taxes and your lawyer fees paid for when you're getting into these, saying these little silver lawsuits. But basically, Kane is like, we don't want to give you the money. Now, this is an opportunity that he's missing out on because we know what Kane is about to do next at the next apartment. We got, we got, what's going on. We got stereotyped here. Yeah. They was at a Trump. They was at one of the Trump apartments. They didn't want to rent to niggas, and niggas for Trump then voted for this nigga. And now look at him. They like, damn man, goddamn, the price of eggs is high as a motherfucker. They talking about the price of eggs and went down. That's wholesale eggs. Nobody, no regular person is buying a goddamn thing of 48 eggs. We getting a dozen or a half a dozen. That's it. But anyway, we get to the third apartment. Now, Kanan, he's looking around. Okay, we got all these. We got a bathroom over here. Okay, smell good. Okay, we got a lot of storage in these hallways. Kanan's looking around like, this is it, babe. This is it. She got that turtleneck on. This is a halter top turtleneck. This is crazy. Sexy at the same time. I don't even know what's going on. This is a half flannel, half jean jacket. Oh my goodness. The 90s was a magical time. Half jean jacket, half flannel, half turtleneck, half goddamn halter top. Oh my goodness. Oh. Now they walking through here. The water obviously isn't on because this is probably just a, saying a display room that you walk through. Candace said, but this is it though. She's like, oh, a change in heart, Kanan. Kanan said, you right though. Maybe I shouldn't be laying my head where the dope is at. So he goes over and tells the guy, look, we want this place. We want this place right now. He said, we got to run a credit check on you. Kanan said, look, I give you first, last month, and first month rent. That's 3 months of rent. Guy said, we still got to run a credit check. Kanan said, look, I'm trying to get this spot. You know what I mean? When you got that feel, you got that feel. So Crystal steps up, and Crystal knows business a little bit better than we do. Crystal say, how about we give you a non-refundable deposit? Basically, they like, look, we're gonna give you $2,000. You shut the fuck up, process that shit, put our name on the lease, and let us go on do what we do. The dude said, you're gonna love it here, Mr. What'd you say, Mr. Stark? Or do you want to be called Mr. Howard? What do you want to be called? Because I heard on the word on the street, don't knock me. I heard your daddy was a police officer. But anyway, Kanan and Crystal, they got the spot. Now they paid the deposit first month and the last month and the non-refundable. So Kanan then came out of his pocket at least $5,000. Well, this is the 90s. Here is probably like on the high end $600. So he made 600, 12, 18. He probably paid about $2,400. A fact. Crystal over here trying to get spots like she the one that's making money. Like she been working. Like Butter got residuals. Like Butter got goddamn publishing. Like Butter got goddamn masters. Butter ain't made a damn dime. Everything look good. Butterhead. Yeah, rent probably on the high end was probably like 550. My first apartment was my first apartment with my brother was in 2009. That's when I got my first apartment. Because '03 to '09 when I was working, I was on the road the whole time. So I would come back and stay with my parents for like 2 weeks and then get back on the road. So I didn't have a spot. Or I would stay with like one of my lady friends, you know what I mean? But yeah, my first spot was like 980, and that was in 2009. I was paying like 980, and then it went up to like 1,050 my last year before I left. They get the apartment. We see Kanan get into it with Rock, and that's really the end of Kanan's story. Him and Rock get into it about him attending school, but my only discrepancy is Kanan had on these Jordans. Kanan had on these Jordans. Kanan was getting money like that. You know what I mean? Kanan had on some J's. I was like, damn, Kanan getting J's like that. The only thing was Kanan and Rock got into it, but obviously he was mad at Rock. He's like, everything you made me go through and everything you made me do, there's no way I'm going to college. But at least right now, we need us a time frame. And you know I got to do it. Kanan got on the Jordan 9s. When did the Jordan 9s release? The first pair was November 1993. So we got us a time frame of where we're at. We are in 93. So we're around November, December time. Or no, we're actually in 94. We are in 94 now, guys. Remember, Rock said, since the new year, you haven't been attending school. So we're in 94 now. Because Kanan got the Jordan 9s that came out in 1993. Rock said the letter said he hadn't been going to school since the beginning of the new year. Let's see if there's a date on that letter. Because if there is, we know we confirm we're in 1994. Ain't no one giving you these dates. Ain't no one breaking this down. And ain't no one going to go look for all these facts but me. I don't know why, but this is all I got going on in life, man. I ain't got no friends. I'm lonely. All right, so there isn't a date on here, though. That jacket he had on wasn't out yet. I wore that in college. NASCAR jackets weren't a thing till 96. Damn, I can't type tonight. These damn glasses, I can't even. Um, they say the early 90s, the history of the NASCAR jackets become a staple of streetwear. I don't know. But for sure, we know that the Jays didn't come out till November of 93, and Kanan got them on. And Rock told Kanan, you ain't been school since the new year started. So we in 94. 1994. If anybody tell you differently, we in 1994. I ain't trying to hear that shit. We in 1994. We are off the clock with Kanan. Because the family dinner, nothing really went on with Kanan. But we are in 1994 now, guys. I know y'all ain't trying to hear it, but that's where we at. 1994 is where we're at. Probably February, March. No. New York, maybe late January, early February. We'll say January to February. I mean, January to March. That's where we're at. All right. Next up, we got Lou, and then we're going to get the hell up out of here. The Air Jordan 9 designer Tinker Hatfield released 1993 November. Original price $125 after leading Chicago to third straight championship. 93, the maestro walked off the stage. Michael Jordan shocked the basketball world by retiring in that October. All right, bad, cool.